A proof-of-concept video for an introductory biography photo show of Charles Demuth for the Demuth Museum, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Conceived and written by David T. Shoemaker. Welcome to the Demuth Museum, the home and studio of Charles Demuth, or, as he jokingly referred to it, the Chateau. When he was asked to provide a brief biography, Demuth responded, "I was born November 8th, 1883, studied at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts under William M. Chase and Thomas Anschutz. I went to Paris in 1907 for the first time, and afterwards returned to it in 1912 and 1921, living there and in London during these visits, about 4 years in all. I have exhibited at the Pennsylvania Academy and the Daniel Gallery in New York City. I think that is the limit of my knowledge about myself. I suppose you will reply, 'Know thyself, young man.' Of course, there is more to Demuth than this. He has been described as a homosexual dandy with a whinnying laugh, a high-pitched voice with a heavy Lancastrian accent, black hair like patent leather, a reddish mustache, and a sweetly malicious wit." Marsden Hartley recalled, "Charles always dressed in the right degree of good taste. English taste, of course, carrying his cane elegantly and for service. Because of a hip infirmity, he had invented a special sort of ambling walk that was so expressive of him." Susan Watts Street pointed out, "He always sat crooked, sideways on the chair or sofa, with one shoulder higher than the other, and with his neck strained into a funny position because of where his shoulders were." The hip infirmity, probably Perthes, did not hold Demuth back, and he was known to dance, swim, hike, and play golf before the onset of diabetes in 1920. Demuth was fortunate that his patron, Dr. Albert C. Barnes, referred him to Dr. Frederick Allen in Morristown, New Jersey, one of the leading specialists in diabetic care at the time. Under Dr. Allen's care, Demuth became one of the first patients treated with insulin in the United States. This treatment prolonged his life by a decade and allowed him to complete many of his most famous paintings. Demuth was very modest about his work and genuinely appreciated it when others liked it, though he would often deploy a self-deprecating wit in response. When Carl Van Vechten wrote in an essay in the Reviewers, "How beautiful and terrible the flowers, daisies with cabalistic secrets, cyclamens rosy with vice, orchids wet with the mystery of the Rosicrucians," Demuth wrote back, "Dear Carl, I had to wait until I reached the capital and en route to a rest cure before I could write you about the flower article. Your very frisky and urbane lines about me made me wish that I could be as naughty as you imagine. Perhaps I can after the cure, dear Carl." The article was very sympathetic, and unlike most, did not rest on the words beauty and art. Thanks. Yours, Demuth. On hearing that the hallowed Metropolitan Museum had purchased one of his paintings, Demuth wrote, "Must one now, I wonder, feel old mastery? I hope not." Demuth was very reluctant to talk about his paintings, especially the deeper meanings or hidden truths. In an article for the journal Creative Art, Demuth wrote, "I have been urged by Mr. Lee Simonson, who, if he would, could do it much better. I too have other pleasures, to write about my paintings. At the start, why? Haven't I, in a way, painted them? To translate these painted sentences, whatever they may be, into words, well, try it. With the best of luck, the sea change will be great. Or, granting that a translation of this kind were successful, what would you have but what was already there, and as readable?" Instead, Demuth urged people just to spend time looking at paintings. Paintings must be looked at and looked at, They, I think, the good ones, like it. They must be understood, and that's not the right word either, through the eyes. No writing, no talking, no singing, no dancing will explain them. They are the enthalpy of sight. Look at that, is all that can be said before a great painting, at least by those who really see it. So we invite you to spend time today looking, and hope that you might experience what Demuth referred to as a moment, a brief, transcendent period of time where everything is perfect and you are overwhelmed by the power of beauty.